I remember when I first moved into my house, there were a lot of guys and just hanging out that would do odd jobs around the neighborhood for, some quick cash, whatever, do the lawn. I mean, some of them were really good. You need to move something. They were just out there. And as the neighborhood became more gentrified or gentrification took over, they kind of moved the guys out. And the guys, I'm not sure where but they left our neighborhood. So it started to get harder and harder to find people to do odd jobs around. I mean, it became hard. We started using referrals. And who do you have? Who do you do? Who do you know that can do this? So I thought, let me come up with something just to discuss it. Because if you were having a problem like I have, even now, you can't have just one guy that could do, or woman, don't want to be sexist, who can do odd jobs. You need to have an arsenal of people who can do different things. So how do you find help to do odd jobs? I just wanted to go through, I got to refer to my notes because I want to make sure. Where do you start? How do you get them? Again, I start with recommendations. I call friends. They said that you can go to hardware stores and you could ask people, hardware stores, who do you know that you can do such and such to get recommendations? Again, social media. I'm not real big into social media. I know I go online. Sometimes there's something called Nextdoor, at least I use, and they'll tell you, I can do such such. You could ask, I need somebody to do my lawn. I need somebody to help paint. And you can get them. And sometimes, and again, you could ask for referrals of, from people who they worked with before. But again, it's really touch and go. I know they have something called Angie's List that you can go and they give you recommendations. But again, it's still touch and go. But even when you do find them, because again, you get lots of referrals. I mean, next door, I remember I wanted somebody to do, I think, to do my brickwork. And of course, that's not necessarily an odd job, but I got a lot of people give me, I do it, I can do it. Well, how do you know who's good? You get recommendations. They give you recommendations from their friends, or they can show you pictures. But you want to vet them. How do you know that they're good? So some of them talk about getting online reviews. Look online to see what it is. But we also know that you can pay people to do reviews. Did you know that? Sometimes they're not always right. But you also want to look at the performance feedback. What did they say? What do other people say? Sometimes if they're in my neighborhood, I'll drive by to see, you said you did lawn care? Let me see what that lawn looks like. Because that's your signature. Another one, you might want to interview them. I always talk to them. I'm not going to, what do you need to do this? I have a long discussion about this. This is what I need to do. And this is how I want it done. And you also want them to give you quotes. Give them a detailed quote. Now, I know there are people out there, what I call quote unquote street people. They shake your hand. I'll do this for you. There's no contract. There's no quote. But girl, I looks like such and such. And they look over there and they're not necessarily bad. Because again, depending upon where the source came from. If somebody who's a referral of Mary Sue, and Mary Sue has been using this guy for 20 years, and Mary Sue's comfortable, Mary Sue referred this to Aunt Mary, Mary Joe, and you might not necessarily need the quotes, you may not necessarily need a lot of stuff, so you got to fill it out. But I do say, be careful getting handy jobs, odd job services. You really want to be careful. And again, if you're older, they think they can rip off older people. If you're an older woman, they think they can rip off older women. We got to be smart. Women in general, people in general, we need to be smart because a lot of people out there hustling want to take you of your money, and they're doing shoddy work. And once they do shoddy work, it's hard to chase them and get it done properly. Take them to court, whatever order. So let's start off. Again, my favorite thing for our jobs, and I stand by, is word of mouth. Who does my friends or somebody I know used it? Because most of the time your friends are not going to refer you to somebody that's crap. They're just not. Their word stands on who they refer to. And if they did, they sorry, they're not going to do it no more. So anyhow, just want to throw this out to you, give you some information that you may be able to use for any kind of object, even if it's car repairs or whatever. You just want to be careful. Anyhow, please like and share, and let's all be safe, and let's save our money and make sure we're keeping it in our pocket and not wasting it needlessly.